Today we're going to discuss some business and marketing right after we do morning chores. It looks like everyone in here is still doing great. All 14 are accounted for and looking good. Everyone in the main flock doing great. Now to check on the rams, see how they're doing. How is your neck doing? Man, you look great. No more little issue there, that's awesome. How you doing, White Butt? You doing good, man? Black Butt, good? Little guy? Good, but hungry. You guys ready to eat? Watch out, guys. The kelp meal in the mineral feeder is all but gone. This side is right down to the plastic. This side has just a little bit in it. For them to eat this much in just 2 days indicates that they were really deficient in something. I'm gonna go ahead and top them back off. Sheesh. I need to distract him with some more food before I try and do that. Here you go, little buddy.
Thank you.
How are you feeling today?
A little better.
You sound a lot better.
Good.
Don't spill. Too late.
Why did you say too late?
Because you were spilling it already. Okay, so let's talk about business and marketing. I originally wanted to do this outside to make it like this much more interesting because I know it's kind of boring, but it is pouring rain once again. I feel the need to share this with you though because one, it's part of our journey, it's part of our story, it's what we're going through, it's part of this whole homesteading experiment. And also I think some of the information I'm going to share might be valuable to some of you guys who are also interested in getting started with homesteading. Initially, when we decided to raise grass-fed lamb on the homestead, I set a goal for myself. I wanted to raise 4 lambs, 2 for us to keep and 2 for us to sell. This whole first season of homesteading is really just one big proof of concept exercise. Can we homestead? Can we raise some of our own food? Can we sell our own food? Can I successfully raise food to market and sell? That was also an interesting question I wanted to answer. That's because someday down the road, I may choose to actually farm instead of just homestead. And I want to know now if that's something I'd be interested in actually doing by just getting my feet wet with it a little bit and selling some of our extra product. For the production side of the equation, I think it's safe to call it a success at this point. With slaughter being only 2 days away, everything has gone exceptionally well. The lambs are healthy, they've put on a lot of weight since they've got here, they're looking great, they're in good condition, they're happy, we've implemented rotational grazing systems. All has gone fairly well on the production side of things, but that is where I put all of my focus on production as well as content creation for the YouTube channel. Where I may have failed a little though is on the marketing end of things. All of my focus was on production. And marketing kind of took a back burner. 6 or 7 weeks ago, I had that moment where I was like, you know what, slaughter is quickly approaching. I need to get this taken care of. I need to start thinking about these things now. Because in order for me to legally sell a half or a whole lamb, I have to pre-sell it. I have to sell the animal alive and essentially handle the butchering, the slaughtering on behalf of the customer. I'm not selling the meat, actually, I'm selling the animal alive. And that's due to USDA regulations. So with that in mind, I really didn't have much time to successfully market and sell 2 lambs. I decided I would publish an advertisement on Craigslist, but how much should I charge? So this forced me to sit down and do a cost analysis. The only problem in the equation was that I don't have one of the variables, which is the weight of the animal. I'm really just kind of guessing in that area because I don't have a track record or a history of raising lamb to know, oh, well, this animal is going to finish out at about this weight, etc. So I'm just kind of guessing based on my experience as a consumer. I did a cost analysis on the direct inputs for the lambs this year, meaning I calculated my hay costs, the alfalfa pellet costs, and the actual purchase price of the lambs. Some of the things I didn't take into consideration: fencing costs, the energizer, the cost of building the shelter, and most importantly, my time. We will do a complete review of the cost analysis once I have the hanging weight of the lambs after slaughter, but for now we'll just keep it simple and generic. I took the input costs and divided it by the hopeful average of 40 pounds of meat per animal and found that my per pound cost for the meat was about $5 a pound. The input that really skewed my costs was the alfalfa. I wasn't able to find a good local source of alfalfa hay this year, so I relied heavily on certified organic alfalfa pellets. They're not cheap, and this is not a long-term viable solution, especially if I plan on scaling up. I'm definitely going to be investing the time this off-season in finding a much better, economically feasible alfalfa solution. Now, part of my goal was to not be giving the meat away or even breaking even on it. In order for this exercise to be a success, I had to make a little bit of profit on it. I came to the conclusion that I would sell the meat for $6 a pound. I looked at other Craigslist ads in my local market and saw that the price was fluctuating between like $3.75 and $4.50 a pound and somewhere in there, but that was for grain-fed GMO lamb. This was not 100% grass-fed and finished lamb given an certified organic hay, certified organic alfalfa pellets. This is a premium product, so I felt good with $6 a pound. But apparently, no one else liked that price because I got 0 bites on it. And then just over a week ago, I had that conversation with my mentor, the one where we talked about the logistical considerations for slaughter. We also spent some time talking about marketing and the business end of things. And she said flat out, $6 a pound is way too much for lamb, even organic lamb. So I had this difficult decision to make. Should I lower the price to try to push the product, or do we keep it, eat it, and enjoy it? But I decided that I really wanted the experience of selling a product and establishing a market. It would give me the opportunity to develop customer service experience and also to share the story of our product. Therefore, I lowered the price. I put it down to $5 a pound, and I updated the advertisement on Craigslist. And then another week has gone by, still no bites. I found myself getting a little concerned last night as we were only 3 days away from slaughter as of yesterday. Again, the worst case scenario is we have a lot of lamb for ourselves. That's not a bad situation. But I also wasn't very excited about paying all the butcher costs. So last night I sent an email out to my friends and family, my farmer network, and fairly quickly I got a bite. I got an email from somebody who said they're interested and to give them a call today. So earlier today, I gave him a phone call. So I talked her through the whole process. I explained to her our ethics and philosophies in raising the animals on a grass-fed diet, etc. I told her that I could sell the sheep as either half or a whole, and she decided to go for a whole, and not for the little guy. She wanted one of the bigger ones. And my friend Wes, who you guys have met a couple times in the videos, he was the one that gave me the huge pallet of wood stickers. And also we went to the Jurassic Quest event together a couple weeks ago. He's gone hunting right now and he got a moose tag this year, so he's expecting to have a big haul in the freezer. So he didn't have much space to spare, so he said he would get a half of the little guy. So that's not going to be a lot of meat, but still that's 1.5 sold that I have deposits for now. So just a half remains, and I feel a lot better about going forward with this. Even with a half not sold, 2.5 for us to put away would still be pretty nice. So the lesson learned here is, do not wait until the last minute to try to market this stuff. Marketing needs to be just as important as the production side of things if you're trying to sell a product. From day one on, marketing needs to be part of the overall production strategy. You boys must be really hungry if you're out here grazing in the rain. Come on, go back to your shelter. I'll get you some hay.